Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the SkyViper Scout video drone from Skyrocket Toys. This drone has surface scan, also known as optical flow positioning. It has altitude hold. It has a 720p HD tiltable camera that has Wi-Fi FPV streaming. It has auto takeoff, auto land, and plenty of other neat features, so let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this large white rectangular box with a cool design, and you can see the drone there in the front with its 720p camera, and it's the SkyViper Scout video drone, stream and record in high def 720p, and it has the surface scan optical flow positioning. And as you can see here, no FAA registration is required, and it's for ages 12 plus. And here you can see the controller with the cell phone, and you have free replacement parts for a year. So a lot going on there. Here you could see more of the features and accessories that it comes with. And right here on the side, it just says Scout video drone. Same here with the surface scan. And here in the back you have more information. You have a detailed diagram there of the quadcopter, and it's showing its features here along with the transmitter and mobile device. And here you could see all the new line of SkyViper drones, starting with the Journey, the Scout, the Fury, and the Dash at different levels. So those are all the new SkyViper drones out this year. So pretty neat. A lot going on there. And right here at the bottom you could see that they offer other battery options or capacities. This one comes with a 650 milliamp, but you can buy an 850 or a 1200 milliamp for a longer flight time. So now let's open the box up and check out what's inside here. Let's open these flaps up and then just slide it out here. Just open it up here. And then let's take a look here. Let's organize all this here. So this is more or less how it comes. Everything is zip tied in, but so we've already opened it up, but this gives you an idea. It has the transmitter here with its mobile device clip that you just simply snap in or slide on like that. So that's pretty cool. Here we have the drone itself here. Pretty neat looking. And you can see its camera, and just a cool looking little drone there. And right here we have its propeller guards, 4 propeller guards. So we'll set these aside right here. And here we have this little compartment that has pretty much the rest of the accessories and the manual and the battery and all that. So right here we have the instruction manuals with diagrams and things to help us set up the quadcopter. So pretty cool there. We'll set that aside here. Here we have a little baggie with the screwdriver and the charger. Here we have the spare propellers. Here we have the 3.7 volt 650 milliamp LiPo battery from SkyViper. Pretty cool. And that's essentially it. So let's organize all this and then take one last look at the contents of the box. Now, taking a last look at the contents of the box, we have the drone itself. It's 3.7 volt 650 milliamp LiPo battery. We have 4 propeller guards right here. We have the charger for the battery, a screwdriver, some screws, 4 spare propellers, the instruction manuals, the transmitter, and its mobile device mount or clip. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at the drone, this is a very neat looking drone that looks a lot like the previous SkyViper drones, such as the V2400 or the V2450. And the frame has been modified just a bit. As you can see, the center is a little thicker this time around. And right here you can see its 720p HD camera that tilts just about 90 degrees, and it's a wide angle lens camera. As you can see, you could tilt it all the way up like that. And it does take an SD card right here in the back. There's an SD card slot, and that's its battery bay, which is pretty spacious and easy to work with there. You could just simply open it up right there at the latch. And it does take the SkyViper 3.7 volt 650 milliamp LiPo batteries, as you can see here. And these are real easy to find at your local retailers. It does take about an hour to 90 minutes to charge, and provides the quadcopter with about an 8-minute flight time. And here's its charger. You just simply connect it like that, and there's a little light right there, and you can see while it's charging. It's red while it's charging and green when it's done. So that's the USB charger. And here are two higher capacity batteries that you can find out in local retailers. Here's an 850 and a 1200 milliamp LiPo, and they both fit perfectly inside this quadcopter, so you can get extended flight time up to around a little over 10 minutes, I believe. So to activate the drone, you simply plug in the battery right here in the back, since there's no on-off button or anything like that. Now it does have these pretty bright LED lights here, so pretty good for orientation or night flying. Definitely brighter than the previous SkyViper drones, but still no lights on each of the legs, so that could possibly be improved. It is a brush motor quadcopter, so it has these 4 brushed motors, and the propeller guards are real easy to snap on and off. We just have these holes here where you can just simply slide them on or take them off very easily. And right down here is its surface scan or optical flow sensor, if you can see it right there. It's a small camera, and no pictures or videos are taken with it. It's just strictly meant for optical flow positioning, but unfortunately it is not too stable at keeping it steady in position like a Tello or something like that. Perhaps its bulkier frame may also be hindering its flight performance as well, because it does have a bigger frame here. Also, its arms are curved downwards, as you can see there, so definitely a change in its frame as well. And as far as the legs here, there's no padding or rubbery cushioning there, so with each landing it scrapes the plastic quite a bit there. So that's also another downside there, that the landings tend to scrape the bottoms a bit. But that's essentially it for the quadcopter. So now let's take a closer look at the transmitter. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very comfortable gamepad-like transmitter from SkyViper. And this transmitter does take 3 AAA batteries. As you can see here, 3 AAA batteries, and there is a small screw that holds the battery lid into place. And now going over the controls here, we have our left throttle stick, and then we have our right rudder stick. We have our on-off button right here in the center, so you keep that pressed, and then you can see all the lights here. And then also we have our auto launch button, auto land. We have our normal and sport mode buttons right there for high and low rates of speed. And then right here at the top, we mainly have our stunt and video button. Now the stunt button only has side rolls or flips, but no front flips or back flips. And the video button, you simply keep it pressed. You'll hear some beeps as you're recording, and then you press it again to stop recording, and the beeps will stop. And that's essentially it for the controls. There is a small installation of the mobile device mount right here. You just simply slide it into place and it'll lock in. And it does have quite a bit of space here for a large mobile device. Definitely not a tablet, but a good sized mobile device or cell phone. And this transmitter does provide the quadcopter with around an 80 to 100 meter control range, so pretty decent there. So Now let's take a look at setting the quadcopter up for its first time flight and its app. Now, setting the drone up for its first time flight is very straightforward. Once you have an SD card inserted into the rear of the drone and a fully charged battery inserted into the drone, along with fresh batteries inserted into the transmitter, you would start out by activating the drone and connecting the power like so. And then once you have the battery connected, you would turn on the transmitter by pushing its on-off button right here in the center. And then just wait for the controller to bind to the quadcopter, and you'll notice that the lights go solid on both the quadcopter and the controller. And now the drone is essentially bound to the controller and should have done a basic auto calibration during the blinking phase. But to calibrate it even further, you would just go into the app, and to take off, you would simply push the auto launch button and give it altitude. So now let's connect to the drone using the app and Wi-Fi. Now, once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry here that says SkyViper, and it'll have a serial number. And it does have a default password, and it's simply SkyViper, all in one word, SKYVIPER. So once you enter that in, you can go ahead and launch the app, which is the SkyViper Video Viewer 2.0, and it has that green icon, and it's in the iOS and Android app stores. Now, SkyViper has plenty of apps in the app stores, including a flight simulator, but this is the one to use with the drone for FPV. So you would launch that, and initially you will be greeted with this screen here, and it should connect here to the FPV, and it'll have some warnings and things that you have to accept. There may even be a firmware update. And so once you do all the updates and bypass all the instruction boxes, you would have the FPV view like this. And as you can see, it has a pretty good quality low latency FPV view here. And the FPV range is also around 80 to 100 meters. So pretty decent there. Not much lag. And now going over the app and the FPV quite a bit here. This button will take you back to the main screen, and once you're in the main screen, you have some options down on the lower right corner, such as your photo and video gallery, and you can pick between viewing photos and videos. And then you have a flight log right here that has all your flight dates, flight times, whether pictures were taken, so on and so forth. So pretty cool there. And right here you can configure your controls and such. Since the quadcopter runs off of ArduPilot software, it's highly configurable, so that's very good. And right here you can calibrate the accelerometer, the gyros, so on and so forth. So there's many options here to do calibrations here for your quadcopter, which is very good here. And as you can see, it's synchronized here with the quadcopter right here in the accelerometer tuning. You can see that as you tilt the quadcopter, the 3D model within the app also reflects its orientation and position. So very cool here how you can configure and calibrate all the aspects of the quadcopter thanks to the ArduPilot software. And that's about it there. And now here you can change your Wi-Fi password, and you have all sorts of icons and indicators there. But here we're in the main FPV view, and here you can split the screen to view it in FPV goggles. Here you can choose between recording video or taking pictures, and right up here it shows you how many pictures you've taken or video clips you've filmed. Right here you have battery voltage and percentage, and then right here you can change whether you save video to the SD card or the app, the units of measurements, whether imperial or metric, and you have your firmware version right here, your app version, so on and so forth. So a lot of good information there. And at the bottom you have your flight time or your flight clock, and just your main FPV view. So pretty straightforward there for the app. So not a bad quadcopter. Unfortunately, it's not a major advancement for SkyViper. I feel like the previous 2450 was more stable. The optical flow sensor on this is not too reliable. The quadcopter really doesn't stay firmly in position, and the altitude hold is a bit shaky. It drops altitude quite a bit. So not the smoothest flyer from SkyViper, and its new frame seems to be a little bulkier and heavier and seems to kind of rattle a bit. Definitely not the most stable frame from the SkyViper line of drones. So unfortunately the flight performance is not as good as it could have been, or like some of the previous SkyVipers, but overall it is flyable and definitely has a good clean camera. So let's take her out for a flight and see how she performs.